المغاربه زوينين وخايبين وفيما مشينا محيحين وفيما مشينا كترون وديما احنا اللي دايرين. Je préfère bouger les gens et je m'en fous. Come on, we got the power to unite. So come on, ode aan de Marokkaanse vrouwen. Hou je sterk, mannen, support je vrouwen. Shout-out naar mijn wederhelft. I come correct in full effect. TEDx, I'm next. Alkmaar, here we are. This is my mic. Check. Thank you. My name is Khalid Ouaziz, and I'm here to talk to you about music, the future of representation, and being a vegan Muslim. Feels good to be back in the city where my life started, and also where my career started. Born in 1975, where I grew up in the neighborhood called Ouaziz. I love the mix of nationalities in my street: Portuguese, Chinese, Tunisian, Dutch, Moroccan, and also Yugoslavian, which back then was also a nationality. Our parents taught us that communication in life is crucial, which is why they taught us our native Moroccan Arabic dialect, Darija, so that whenever we would go on vacation, we would be able to interact and make friends. Labas, bikhair. Another thing that was hugely popular in our house was music. Our house was filled with it daily. And my parents had a record collection that went from Diana Ross to Dolly Parton, from Boney M to Bee Gees, from Kulthum to Disco Duck, Stevie Wonder to Feiruz, and so on and so on. Me personally, I fell in love with hip-hop in the 80s. I was one of those kids at school walking around with their headphones around their neck, playing my Walkman every chance I get. And it was then when a teacher by the name of let's call him Mr. told me that you won't get far in life if you keep chasing music. Anyone else here ever had a teacher that tried to downplay your possibilities or tell you that you can't become something? Anyone, by show of hands? Yeah. We'll get back to that later. Oh, yeah. So, one day I joined my older brother Rashid for a 20-minute bike ride into a different world with turntables and lots of records. It was there where I wrote my first rap lyrics at the age of 12, and where I also learned how to DJ. Now, I can't remember what the lyrics were about, but I do know that they were in English, and as most hip-hop tracks from back then came from the United States, this is why I am stuck with this American-sounding accent. No disrespect, but with the state of the planet right now, I would much rather sound like someone getting ready to take the tube and watch Chelsea than the country of fake news, politics, and kofefe. Yeah. Come close and feel the flavor. Go tell your neighbor, here to entertain you. Put in some labor. I had to work, so I did, to make my dream work. I had worked hard, saved up enough money, bought the DJ equipment and the records, locked myself up in my room, and practiced and practiced and practiced to relentless perfection. Now, going out to clubs, I noticed that most of the DJs were white or black. And I once saw an Indonesian guy rocking it, but never someone with Arabic roots. This motivated me. As a young Moroccan kid from Ouaziz, I wanted to be that kid rocking the crowds, where in Ouaziz, among most of my fellow young Dutch Moroccans, creativity was not something normal to do. So, at the age of 17, I went on to become the youngest and the first Moroccan house DJ in the Netherlands, alongside 100% Isis, who was also crushing the stereotypes as a female DJ. To me, this was a huge step. I recorded my first track, I toured Europe, and when house music felt too comfortable because things were going so fast, I switched back to my first love, hip-hop. And it was also then when I got to really influence the entire area around Alkmaar through my music and through my events. I got to perform alongside artists like Missy Elliott, Fat Joe, Busta Rhymes, and many more. And that's when tragedy struck. My father passed away. I lost the man who supported me wanting to do something different in life. I lost the man who also supported me by driving me to my gigs and picking me up after. And it was during that period, depressed, home alone, when I started to seriously write songs. You see, music helped me get back on track, and it really pushed me forward. So, what I did was I recorded music, went to the studio, song after another song, after another song, until I struck a golden chord. Biladi, aka My Country. It was a track in English and Darija, the Moroccan Arabic dialect. It was a track that talked about social injustices in Holland and biased media towards the Moroccan youths. And this track went on to become a huge hit. It was my first breakthrough. And I remember hearing myself on the radio and seeing myself on TV going, if Mr. Could see me now. It's real easy. Now, the song, it was also about the social injustices, so I had to really, really put emphasis on that for all my party people. See no evil, hear no evil, but you ain't seen shit. Still you talk about my people just to make a hit. What you know about Dalbeda, or Tanja, Marrakech, Swera, Ouaziz, or Khribga? What you know about Coco, Luj, Shriha, or Kermous? ما اخباركش بلا البوليسي باقي كيشد الفلوس. That last line, that mentions the police taking a bribe. Flus, aka money. And it was a taboo to talk about corruption in Morocco in your music or criticize the government. But I felt like it's time for a wake-up call, because what I was missing from my generation is a sense of urgency. We need to step up and do better as a society. At the age of 32, I moved to Amsterdam, despite my love for Alkmaar. But I felt like I had more to explore in the world, and I want to think big, aim high, and conquer the world, or at least give it a try. And I felt like I have more to do than stick around here, be a local hero. And it was in Amsterdam, as if fate would have wanted it that way, where I met my love match, a journalist by the name of Raja Fulgata. She interviewed me a couple of times over the past few years. We hit it off, and as you can see, eventually ended up married. She really taught me things about myself that I didn't know I had in me. She motivated me. She triggered me to do better. And it was through her vision that we ended up producing a top 100 diversity list of colored women and influential women. You see, because in most top lists, representation of women was lacking, especially women of color. And we kept on producing this diversity top 100. This year marks the 8th year, and unfortunately it still is necessary, because most other lists are predominantly white. And thing is, you see all these people, they all have different backgrounds, different stories to tell, different nationalities, different maybe gender, cultural. And we wanted to do this as an answer to a cynical society and other top lists that were and still are predominantly white. We created a platform to showcase role models that stand out, but were not always visible. Why is that? Why do the media make huge faux pas when it comes to people of color, Muslims, black people, brown people? Why do the images always suggest something dangerous or negative? Why does Hollywood feel the need to play scary music when they're portraying their views of a Muslim country? Ooh. And why, oh why, do companies still have the same type of faces in upper management? Why do marketing companies think that white people are the only people that want to buy a house, buy a car, or travel, or even celebrate Christmas? Thank you. We wanted to change that frame. I strongly believe that you can't become something you cannot see. Although I grew up being a Moroccan DJ and a rap artist, which I never saw. But I believe that it is crucial in life that kids grow up with role models in all walks of life and from all cultures. The world is changing. No shit. In Great Britain, the group mixed race is possibly the fastest growing race, ethnic group. The Netherlands is also changing. Studies suggest that in over 40 years, over 50% will be mixed race or with a non-Dutch background, more than 50%. You see, the future of representation is already in motion. Now let's make sure that we have everything in check, or we will remain the laughingstock when it comes to equality and especially gender equality. Now, the Netherlands seem to have gender equality in check, right? Although we've heard some numbers today that might suggest otherwise. Hands in the air if you believe that the Netherlands are in the top 10 globally, by show of hands. Top 20, anyone? You're optimistic. The Netherlands are globally ranked 32nd. 32nd, yeah. We are being outranked by countries like Rwanda and the Scandinavian countries. Can somebody please get Mark Rutte on the phone? We are being outranked by Rwanda, Ragnar Lothbrok, Nokia, and IKEA. Although I have to say that most Scandinavian countries also have troublesome issues when it comes to the rise of neo-Nazi groups, hate crimes, Islamophobia, Afrophobia, xenophobia in general, and a disregard for LGBTQ rights. And unfortunately, this is still going on in large parts of the world. Yeah. If we want to keep up, we need to do better. Do we need quotas? If nature needs a hand, and I believe it does, yes, please. Because we are tired of the same lame arguments we've been hearing over the past decades. Yeah. We need to step up. You see, disrupting the status quo is the only way to instigate change. Quality comes in all ethnicities, in all colors, sexual backgrounds, and also sexual preferences. We as a society need to start representation and inclusion on every level. Change. I changed. I was always overweight. During periods of depression after my father passed, cookies, snacks, and unhealthy living were my comfort zone. I tried working out, never maintained. Until 2 years ago, I switched up everything and went on a fully plant-based vegan lifestyle. Yeah. I lost about 15 kilos, started working out regularly, and I have to say, I feel good. Why, you may ask? Well, I went on a spree of information binging. I read articles, I read up a lot of posts, and the information out there is terrifying. It's not just information, it's facts, not fake news. And for me, personally, I really wanted to change something because we as a society, I don't know if you might have noticed, and we've heard it a couple of times today, but let me say this in terms that everybody will get it. We are fucking up our planet, seriously. And it's not just the rise of neo-Nazi groups, hate crimes, Islamic terrorists, white terrorists. No, it is all mankind, and we are doing this to the environment, which is a bad thing. The meat and dairy industry will surpass the oil industry as the biggest polluters. Think about that. Studies suggest that the meat industry has a bigger impact on the environment than oil. Avoiding meat and dairy products is the single biggest way to reduce your environmental impact on planet Earth. Don't be scared. These are just melons. For me personally, this meant I was a vegan Muslim. This meant no more meat and dairy products. Yes, no more meat during Eid al-Adha, aka the festival of sacrifice, where millions of Muslims sacrifice animals each year. I chose to leave this part of the tradition because I believe that honoring the planet the way I do is also a form of worship. You see, the Quran talks about preserving the environment, being kind to animals, being kind to humans, and all living things. I know, it's not the Allahu Akbar that you're used to, but this to me motivated me to do something different. And Muslims and non-Muslims always look at me weird when I tell them about this, until I explain my food, my health choices. And if I even get to inspire one, for me that's already a win. And don't worry, I'm not here to promote or to convert people to Islam or to veganism. I'm merely here to share my point of view and to show you that together we can do more on many levels. And last year was an absolute legendary moment when my mother joined me in a meat-free celebration of Eid al-Adha. Absolute first, legendary moment, never forget it. And there is also a rise of vegan Muslims worldwide, so watch out, the rise of the green Muslims. Yeah. You won't hear it in the news, but it's happening, trust me. Yep. So, don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you see, unless it is a lack of representation or a lack of inclusion or a messed up ecosystem, because that's a real thing. Now, the future of representation is already in motion, and sooner than later, we might finally be able to see more news anchors of color, Muslim correspondents talking about the economy, female football referees, no more Zwarte Piet, different history books to educate the children. And that is my vision on the future of representation, but we got to do it together. I want everybody to get up. Everybody get up. Because it takes two, baby. Hit it. Get up out of your seat and move. Come on. Hey. Come close to feel the flavor. Go tell your neighbor. Woo! You and me, baby. We got to do this together.